Let's cut to the chase. Here's how to start a blogging business on Medium that earns you over $2,000 per month. First of all, I speak about things that I understand. I've been writing on Medium for over 2 years and earned over $35,000 there. Last month I earned around $4,000 and my highest paying month was around $7,500. Let me tell you how to do this in 3 easy and memorable rules. Rule number 1, don't get too attached. Rule number 2, post 3 times a week. And rule number 3, always enhance. Now let me show you how I apply each rule in my own Medium account. Rule number 1, don't get too attached. Never get too attached to a single article. I know people who would spend hours and hours writing the article to perfect it so that it would be a perfect and decent article to be published online. The only problem with that is the algorithm doesn't care whether it's perfect or decent. The algorithm cares whether people are gonna like, comment, and share it, and most people would not be so keen on looking at the small things that you might care about. For instance, I've written this Medium guide and I took a lot of effort and time to create it, and it was over 15 minutes of reading time. This article underperformed overall compared to other articles. Rule number 2, post 3 times per week. I've tried different variations of this. I tried 1 article per week, 5 articles per week, and sometimes even more. The algorithm prefers if you always write 3 times per week, or schedule. It doesn't really matter at that point. But according to my earnings, the highest earning months were the ones that were actually 3 times per week. And that's why I really advise you to do it that way. It's easier for you because you could always schedule a post on the weekend and during the days and make the 3 times per week schedule compared to the 5 times per week schedule, which is almost impossible. Rule number 3, learn and enhance. The more you write, the more you learn from the articles that underperformed and that outperformed. So for instance, this article that I wrote about Ford, I found that it was very controversial and it touched a specific nerve in a lot of people. So I thought, okay, this structure of the article is actually a good one and made me good money. So let's replicate it on something that's trending. So I did the same thing, and this article was my highest paying article so far, making over $7,000. I realized that some people also do the same strategy, like Jano, this guy, and he also has an article that was so trending that it was on the top of the best articles of all time, and then he replicated the same thing with something that happened recently with the Apple Vision Pro, and you can see that it's also increasing in terms of likes and claps and so on. It might not be as successful as the previous one, but it's a structure that works, it's a title that works. People get attracted to that, so keep that in mind and always learn from your previous articles. That's it, follow these 3 rules and you're good to go. A few final remarks before you leave. Always use Grammarly. If you don't want to hear people saying, hey, your grammar sucks and stuff like that, it's also good for the algorithm because according to many experts online, the more grammatical mistakes that you write, the less Medium would actually spread your content. Also, it's kind of annoying to see comments like those. Speaking of which, these comments, you have to get used to negative comments, whether they're constructive or unconstructive. If they're unconstructive, then just don't bother with them. Don't think about them too much. If they are negative and constructive at the same time, then you have to learn from them and move on. Look, honestly, the internet world is harsh. So if you're the type of person who can't handle a negative comment or who a negative comment would get into your mind, then just hear this piece of advice. Don't read the comments. A read is a read at the end of the day. And if more people are reading your content, then you're writing something that is interesting, regardless of whether it's negative or positive. Look at the comments every now and then to see if you've done a major mistake or so. But the negative comments that are just meaningless sometimes affect people and they're just useless. Finally, don't expect too much from this. Don't expect anything from this. Just write because you love writing or because you love a specific topic, and put yourself a deadline. Let's say a year or 2 years. And if you don't achieve the target you want then maybe it's wise that you would spend this time on something else. Maybe there's something out there that if you'd spend that time on, it would result in something bigger and better for everyone. That's as simple as it gets. Shoot me a question if you have in the comments, like this video and subscribe if you actually did, and have a wonderful day.